Ted Paul asks, do you agree that CBC News has an inherent liberal bias? No, I don't, Ted. I really don't. And if you sat in here for a day or even for an hour and watched the way we discuss and debate story selection and story content, you'd understand why I say that. Here's what I would say. I just don't believe this political bias stuff. I never have, and I've seen, just too many good discussions around here to accept that in any way. What I would say is that there can at times be an inherent bias that gives a Toronto-centric view of issues that confront our country. And it's something that that we struggle here against. I mean, I remember when I started my career, first 10 years in Western Canada, I used to thought, oh, those people in Toronto, man, they have no understanding of what it's like here on the prairies. And all they ever talk about is their kind of Toronto issues. Now, I don't think that's entirely fair, but I do think it can be an inherent bias simply by the fact that some of the main players, not just of the CBC, but in the national media, live in the proximity of downtown Toronto. And so therefore they're affected, they and their families are affected by everything from, Toronto transit system, the Toronto healthcare, Toronto schools, Toronto sewers, the condition of Toronto roads, and they're always thinking that stuff. And sometimes they tend to apply Toronto standards to their thinking behind the coverage of stories outside of the city. So I think that is a legitimate area to talk about. I don't buy the political bias stuff, never have at all. And quite frankly, I can tell you, when the Conservatives have been in power, I hear from Liberals saying we have a conservative bias. When and when the Liberals are in power, we hear the same thing. Can you hold on a minute while I just see who this is? Oh, Willie, I'll have to call you back. I'm actually on the air right now on Facebook Live, so I've got to hang up, okay? All right, unless there's a problem. Okay, we'll do. All right. That's my son. Last exam today, so he's pretty excited. He's finished high school. Finished for good. High school. Off to university. All right, next question.